My motorcycle has been sitting outside all winter for a month and a half in the wind, the rain, the sleet, the snow, the freezing temperatures, and today we're going to put the Antigravity Lithium Ion battery to the true test, see if we can start this thing up for the first time. Alright everybody, what is going on? As always, thanks for stopping by to another video today. It's Eric here at the Moto Jawn. We're coming to you with a garage video today. So we're going to see if we can get this Harley Sportster started up after sitting for a month and a half in the wind, the rain, the snow, the sleet, outside and all those elements. It was undercover and it was not on a battery tender. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it into storage this year, which wasn't the worst thing because I was able to ride a little bit later in the year than I usually do. But usually I get it in storage, I treat the fuel, I cover it up, I put it on a tender. But this year, it's been outside all winter so far. And so next, let me just apologize real quick. If you hear all the chaos going on outside, they're building a house directly across the street. So you're probably hearing nails smashing, crashing out there. Sorry about that, but that was the only time I could get into the garage to do this video to test out this battery today. So if you've been tuning in for a little while now, you probably saw last fall, I installed the Antigravity Lithium Ion battery into the Sportster. The stock battery had died and I really wanted a good upgrade to really have confidence in the battery, and I've been really happy with it so far. So as soon as I installed it, I noticed a difference in a little bit of performance, the way it really cranked over after sitting for even a couple weeks at a time once it started to get really cold out. But now, the thing that I'm really curious of is if we're going to be able to get this thing started up, because like I said, it's been sitting outside where I keep it. I don't keep it in this garage, I keep it outside at a friend's house in a back lot, locked up, chained up, all the stuff back there, it's safe. But like I said, it's not in a garage, it's not warm, it's outside, exposed to all the elements. I do have the cover on it, but no battery tender. So the great thing about this battery, the lithium ion battery, it's got 360 cranking amps and it's got the restart technology. So if we can't get this thing fired up on the first couple tries, we're going to try to press that button on the battery, release a bunch of power out to the battery and see if it starts up that way. I haven't had to do that yet, so I'm curious to see if we're gonna have to do it today, and if we do, if it'll work. So after I installed the battery for the first time, I did get a lot of good feedback. A lot of people said they love this battery as well. And the one request was people asking me if I could do this very test. They wanna see how it performs in the winter and in this cold environment after sitting for a while. So this is really going to be the true test of trying to fire this thing up for the first time with the lithium ion battery after sitting for a while. Like I said, we might have to press the button to recharge that energy inside there. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure. I got it down to the garage here where it is now. I wheeled it down because I wanted this to be a true initial startup test after sitting. So down where I keep it, back behind a friend's house, chained up. I didn't even attempt to start it up. I haven't hit the electronics, haven't hit anything on the bike so far because I want this to be a true initial test if we fire this thing up or see if it fires up. So I put it in neutral and I just wheeled it a few blocks down the street, brought it into the garage here to where we are today, and we're gonna see if we can get this first true test started up with the lithium ion battery. So some of the things that I've heard with this battery is after it sits for a while, sometimes you might need to try it a few times, like turn the on switch on a few times, and it starts to kind of waken itself up from what I've heard. I haven't had to try that test yet, so all the time through winter and fall, it fired right up. That's another thing that I've been really impressed with the battery so far on. So we'll see here today how many times I might have to click the on and off switch, or we'll see if we have to restart that battery and press that button down there under the seat. Alrighty, so we got the key fob here. I'm gonna put this in my pocket. We're gonna hit that on switch for the first time. So when we turn this thing on, we're probably gonna hear a loud screech at first when we hear that fuel pump kick in, starting to pump some of that fuel through after sitting for a while. So here we go, we're gonna hit that on switch for the first time. All right, so we've got the electronics. We heard that little bit of screeching there. So here we go. I'm gonna hit the ignition. there you have it. This thing started up on the very first try. Hit the on switch, hit the ignition, and that thing, you saw it, you fired right up, right there. I gotta be honest, I'm pretty surprised by that. Like I said, this thing has been sitting out there for about a month and a half. Last time I took this out, last time I started it up was December 31st. This is about the middle of February right now. So we're talking a month and a half of sitting through freezing winter temperatures. We got a couple big snows. It was down in the teens for weeks at a time. And wow, I gotta be honest, I'm really impressed at the fact that this just fired up like that. It sounded strong. You heard it had a couple kicks at the beginning, and the thing just flipped right over. I didn't even have to juice it up. I didn't even have to hit the on and off to try to waken it up a little bit. I gotta be honest, very impressed by this Antigravity Lithium Ion battery right now. I mean, like I said, month and a half, all those elements, all those temperatures, not even on a battery tender. Now, I know that can kind of damage the life of the battery sometimes. I don't know if that changes for the lithium ion batteries, but not even on a tender, and you saw it right there, folks. This thing just fired right up after a month and a half of sitting out in that winter elements. So if you guys want to see the box a little bit more, here is the box to the battery, Antigravity Lithium Ion battery, restart technology, 360 cranking amps. I got this thing on, I think it was Revzilla. I think I got this on Revzilla for about $250. Now, like I said, it is one of the more expensive batteries out there. There's even ones with more cranking amps. I think you can get one with like 480 cranking amps. But I mean, you get what you pay for. You can see after that sitting for a month and a half right there in the winter elements that it just fired right up, took a couple kicks, fired right up. So super happy with that, super pleased. That stock battery would have been absolutely shot. I would have had to sit on the tender for a couple days to get rejuiced up for some of the spring weather coming up. So wow, I gotta be honest. Great product, love this thing, super happy I have it in my bike. So now that we have this thing fired up and we know that it's gonna start, it's about 60 degrees here in Philly today, a little hit of spring in the middle of February. Let's hop on this thing and take it out on the streets of Philly, get a quick little ride in the middle of winter.
Man, never did I think I'd be able to hop out on the streets of Philly on my bike in the middle of February, but here we are. Like you can see, we got it running here. I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit since it's been sitting for so long, but yeah, man, that battery fired it right up. I couldn't believe that. It took a couple little turns to crank over, but man, let's hop on this thing, go for a short little ride real quick. Yeah, so there you have it. We are back on the streets of Philly, as always, like I always say, middle of February, but I'm not gonna go too far. I think I'm just gonna run down to gas station, do a little ride down Fairmount Ave, get the gas station, put some air in the tires, make sure everything's functioning properly as should. Yeah, man, she feels decent from sitting all that time. Like I said, month and a half or so. She got a little power ready to go, a little giddy up. But yeah, like I said, very impressed by that battery. So I think that kind of answers all the questions right there. Like I said, people have been asking me, you know, has it been working in the winter and the cold? Like I said, I don't really know. That was the first time I was able to start it up. But people were asking me, you know, is it expensive? Is it worth it? I mean, the price, like I said, $250, $260. I thought it was worth it before I ever even did that test right there. Ever since I put it in, I've always thought it was worth it. But I mean, that just goes to show you the power of this battery is all good. I think everybody's going to be satisfied with it. So yeah, for the most part, that's all I really wanted to do today, guys. Let's give you a little insight into that battery, see how it started up. Pretty happy, pretty impressed. I'm going to finish off this day with a quick little scoot in some of these 60-degree February temperatures here in Philly. So as always, if you like anything we got going on here, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. As always, we'll catch you on the next one. It's the Moto Jawn. We'll see you all on down the road. Peace.